Good morning, everyone. How's everyone doing today? It's still morning where I am. Is it morning where you are, or is it evening? Again, let me know if you can hear me, see me. And I'm just going to jump in chat real quick and see who's here. Josh and Babe, how you doing? Bart Warner, Michael Frost, Gareth, Kevin Nash, King Kilbasa, how you doing? Sent One, Douglas Davis, Renee from Harlingen, Texas, Raspberry Rock, Russell, how you doing? King Rook, how are you doing? Good to see you. Oren, good to see you, buddy. Billy Garfield from Gardena, loved last week's show. Hey, thank you very much. I did a pop-up one in the middle of the week. I don't know if any of you guys were able to get on there. Just kind of popped on in the middle of the week since we had to postpone last weekend's to this weekend. So it's fun. We had about like 119 people at one point. Pretty cool. Let's see. Get caught up here. Rothnar, some say eating too much smoked meats isn't healthy. What's your take on that? Do you notice anything after eating? Stomach trouble? Nah, not at all. I mean, I don't eat every day, but I've never noticed any problem. I've been doing it for a long time. Mike Roseberry, Rise, the best regular cook out there. Too many with 1,000 ingredient spice rubs and $2,000 rigs. Well, thank you very much. I kind of like to keep it cool. I wouldn't mind a bigger rig eventually, and I will get one, but it's not for having one just for the price. It's for more capacity. So, but thank you very much. I appreciate that. I mean, man, I have a Mike Weber kettle I think I got for $149. So I've been cooking on that thing for quite a while, and it rocks. That's my favorite cooker. Only Chevy, you made it early this time. Yeah. Ari, you feel much better when I'm eating smoked meats personally. I like the flavor of it. And it's funny because, whenever I am done smoking something, I just smell the smoke on me for hours until I clean up. Yeah. Weedman, good morning. How you doing? Wells Family Homestead, how are you doing? Good to see you. Off the Walls Barbecue, I am doing good. I'm doing good. Gareth, your evening here in London. Cool. Raspberry Rock. Hi, Russell from Eastern Ontario. Weather is beautiful. Sunny, 72. I think you're actually a little bit warmer than we are right now. I think we're right at 70. A little cool today, but it's going to warm up right in the afternoon. Brian Vestrom, good to see you. It's morning where you are, Oren. Kurt Montgomery, first time here from Omaha, Nebraska. Hey, welcome. Good to see you. Canadian Jim, good to see you. Mr. Happy from Ontario. We got a lot of Canadians who come to chat. Let's see. Culinary Cookhouse. Mike, how are you doing? Good to see you, buddy. That's a nice new smoker you got. I like that. The one you've been using. That's really cool. Lincoln Barnes. Hey, Rye, got your smoked barbecue chicken legs in the smoker right now. Cool. Yeah, those turned out really nice. I was very happy with those. DIY film. Hardwood charcoal versus Kingsford Blue. I've personally just used Kingsford Blue when I'm in direct cooking because I usually add my own wood for smoke. I've used the hardwood charcoal. There's nothing wrong with it. I just, the Kingsford Blue is predictable. It's cheaper than the hardwood. And for indirect, I just prefer that. Yeah, it works great for me. Go Raptors, Russell. Is that what you're saying? Okay. Hey, I'm going to drop a link in chat here, and I'm trying something new that if chat gets moving too fast and I'm not able to answer any question for any reason, it's a form you can go to. It's a Google form where you can enter your channel name or any name you choose and a question. It should pop up on my screen. So let me drop that in there. So feel free to try it out. And that way, if there's something you really want answered or a comment you really want me to see, put it in there. Appropriate only. Inappropriate things will be ignored. So, drop it in there and I'll see how it works. So anyone want to try it out, drop something in there right now and I'll just see if it works. If it doesn't work, yeah, oh well, it was worth a shot. Let's see. Stephanie Jimenez, how you doing? Dwayne, good to see you. Culinary Cookhouse, Mike, smoked your first chuck roast, gave you a nice little shout out. I haven't seen your chuck roast one yet. When did that come out? I'm not getting every notification on stuff, which is bugging me. So is that in the last couple days? So I got to check that out. Josh and Babe, second with Rye, just got my new pit barrel cooker delivered this week. Nice. Yeah, you got to fire that thing up. That thing's a machine. That thing is it's a rib machine. Chicken is great. I just really like the stuff that it puts out. I mean, and what did I do the other day? I did the 2 tri-tips and corn, and I did a little test afterwards. I just left it running. And I put a temp probe in there, an ambient temp probe, and I took some video of it. I didn't do it in a video. I'm not even sure what I'll do with the video clip I did. But it held temp for a long time. I mean, I was going 275 at least for 6 hours, and I think after about 7 or 8 hours it dropped down, but it was still doing above 225. So I was very impressed with it. Hey, we've got our first forum question. Josh and Babe, let's see. When you go live, what camera, mic, and streaming software are you using? I am using two Logitech C920s. I'm only running one right now. I showed one on the other midweek live stream. I showed how I can just kind of show outside and do stuff like that. And I use OBS for live streaming. Let's see. Let me see if I've got... hold on. What do I got here? Make sure this is all new to me, these forms. I hope I'm getting everybody's right here. I think this next one is from Douglas Davis. If you aren't smoking for the channel, what's your favorite thing to cook on the grill? Hamburgers. This one's Stephanie Jimenez, I believe. What is your favorite meat to barbecue? Tri-tip. Luke. Lou Gastoni, have you ever made bundt cake? You know, Lou, I have made bundt cake. Thanks, Russell. That's an inside joke for those of you out there who would have no idea what that is. So anyway, let me jump back in chat here. But let me see how that's working there. Just want to make sure I'm figuring this out right. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I like that. So the forums seem to work pretty well if like chat gets going, you know, too fast. So cool. All right, where we go. Bottle Cap Barbecue, good to see you. Billy Garfield says different hat. I've worn it a couple times. It's just like a Cheers hat from Las Vegas or something. I don't even know where I got it. Someone gave it to me. Let's see. Culinary Cookhouse. Yeah, I put it out yesterday. Okay, I'll check it out today, Mike. Yeah, I didn't get notifications. I'm getting like probably 15 to 20% of the notifications of the channels I'm notified to. I know YouTube doesn't send out notifications on everything, but I really wish they would for the ones you click the bell on them. It kind of ticks me off. Ash, hey Rye, how's things going? Pretty good, Ash. It's going pretty good. Let's see. Tolly Smith, one day ago looks good. I'm not sure what that refers to. Maybe you're talking about with mics, but I'll look at that. Let's see. Steve Wetzel, how you doing? Good to see you there. Dale Jacobson, hey, from Klamath Falls, Oregon, back to winter here. Midlife living, smoke on, my good brethren. Absolutely. Deirdre Hill, hello from a mile down the street. Hello, Deirdre. Deirdre's my sister-in-law. She gets to have a lot of the stuff that we make here. She and her husband or their daughter, they get a lot of the they get to test stuff. So yeah. Let's see. Raspberry Rock. Yeah, lol. LOL for you. All right, hold on. We got another question here from Ash, it looks like. What gave you the idea to start doing YouTube? I had seen so many videos and I had just gotten my Oklahoma Joe's Highland, and I figured, you know, I'm just going to whip out my iPhone, take a video of me putting stuff together, doing some mods and like that, throw it up. I did, and it started getting views, and it was like, all right, maybe I'll make another video. And I think my second video was Tri-Tip, which is my favorite, and I cooked so many of them that started doing okay for, you know, I think I had 50 views at first, and it's like, hey, 50 views, that's awesome. And that's just kind of where it started from. I mean, the oldest advice someone who, you know, about YouTube and if you want to do things like that is you just got to start doing it. And I just decided to start doing it. And I've been having a blast now. Just over 2 years been going. Yeah. 60,000 subscribers. That's insane. Insane. I had no idea I'd have that many subscribers at any time. So yeah. Let's see. Wells Family Homestead. Have you looked into the Art Flame insert for the Weber grill? It's like using cast iron pan has actually changed the way I've grilled. I've looked at it and I've considered it. It's just not on the list of things right now that, you know, I would be getting. So yeah. Let me check right here. Mr. Happy, what is the most difficult thing to barbecue? Wow, that's a good question. Honestly, I would say it's chicken. Chicken you can ruin chicken easily, and I've ruined plenty of chicken. It's really hard to go from perfectly done to overcooked. And so I think honestly chicken is one of the most difficult things to get right. Let's see, Mr. Backyard Life. Hey Rye, hey folks, hey, good to see you. Douglas Davis, why don't zombies eat clowns? Because they taste funny. That's a good one. I haven't heard that one actually. Tim Nutt, how you doing? My dad always used fresh limes as a natural tenderizer for baby backs and put on his rubs. They were delicious, and is 63 now, been doing it for 40 years. Hey, that's cool. That's an interesting way to do it. I love lime. Love lime juice, lime zest. Let's see. Where are we at here? Eastwind Farms. Chris, how are you doing? Good to see you, buddy. Brandon Larson, hello from St. George, Utah today. Hey, I've been to St. George, Utah. I lost a hat at a Red Lobster restaurant in St. George, Utah. If you happen to stop by the, a Red Lobster restaurant in St. George, Utah, ask them if they found a hat 10 years ago, because that would be my hat. So, yeah. Where are we at here? Rothnar, Norwegian meat and cigar smoker here, enjoying a nice stick, waiting for a hey, that's awesome. Bottle Cap Barbecue, how do you do the form from mobile? I don't know. I'm not sure how it works from mobile. This is just something that I investigated to try and get some, things in for fast, when chat gets fast, and I'd seen some other channels do it. Actually, Nick Nimmin over on Nick Nimmin does a lot of YouTube content. He uses it in his live streams, and it seems to work well for him. So I decided to try it. Yeah. Let's see. Mark Horner. Hey, Russ. Hey, Rye. Love your vids. Keep them coming. Just got an Oklahoma Joe reverse flow Highland smoker. Cool. Have cooked on before, but the first time I'm doing Wagyu brisket. Wish me luck. Cool. Yeah, give that thing time. Just watch the temp. Get it at the perfect temp that you want it. And the tenderness, man. The tenderness is the guide for that thing. So just, it'll be really good if you nail that tenderness in there. So juicy. So juicy. Let's see. King Kilbasa. Rye, do you have the grill grates for the Weber kettle? I'm not sure which grill grates you're talking about. I have multiple grill grates for the Weber kettle. I have cast iron grill grates from Mallory Cookware. I have really kind of heavy duty ones from Aura Outdoor Products that came with their Kettle Zone system. I have a spin grate from Kettle Zone, or from Barbecue Dragon. I have the regular Weber, grill grates, multiple ones of those, because I go through those like every few months. I replace them. So I've got a lot of different grill grates. Let's see. Stephanie in a minute. I love tri-tip, salt, pepper, and lemon pepper. That'll work. Yeah, that'll look really good. Hey, we've got a donation to the Meat Fund from Raspberry Rock. $5. Thank you very much, Russell. Let's bring out some Bat Cow to celebrate that. Bat Cow thanks you. Thank you very much, Russell. The Meat Fund appreciates your donation. And again, I have the fourth animation. For those of you that aren't familiar, there's 3 different ones. We've gone through 3. I've been working on the 4th one. It's done. I tried to use it, and it just won't run. So I've got to figure out why it is not working. Yeah. Let me jump in here, some of the questions here real quick. You said in your latest tri-tip video that you had some ribs fall off the hooks. That's why you double hooked. Did the ribs taste like coals? Let's see. Where am I at here? Let me get to the individual ones here so I can get caught up. 1, 2, 5, 6, 7. Ash. It's no, they didn't taste like coals. Yeah, you double hook them, but I have 8 hooks, and I was using 8 hooks already in that cook. I was cooking a lot of stuff, so I didn't have any extra hooks. And yeah, double hooking would have saved those. But no, they didn't taste like coals. If you saw in the video, I reached down, grabbed them real quick, got them up, and they were fine. Yeah, so no harm, no foul. Luckily, I was there when they fell. If they had been laying there for a while, I probably would have lost at least half that rack. Yeah, so. But thank you very much for that question. Let's see where we at here. Bottle Cap Barbecue. I got them King. Well worth the investment. Not sure what that means. Bottle Cap Barbecue. Best steaks ever. Okay. Midlife Living. Can you recommend any grilling weekend vacation packages in or around North Carolina? I'm not familiar with any. No, I'm not familiar with North Carolina. If you want some questions answered about North Carolina, get a hold of Scott at The Real Show Barbecue. He lives in North Carolina, has a YouTube channel, makes fantastic barbecue sauces. He knows the barbecue places in there. Yeah. Stephanie Yeman is now I want to watch Big Fat Greek Wedding. I know cake. Lol. Oh yeah, what's this? A bunt? Yeah, I love that. I love that movie. Darcy, how are you doing? Good to see you. Love your ride. The cast iron kettle, great. Is it worth buying? Yes. I've used it probably a dozen times now between testing and cooking, and it's heavy duty. It's heavy. I mean, it's heavy. And you have to take care of it just like cast iron, but it's really, really good. That thing's going to last a lifetime. I can tell. Yeah. Dale Jacobson, what do you think of the meter thermometer? I've seen it. I've never used it. My only issue with it is that the probe size is pretty large when it goes into the meat. It's not like a slender probe. And I just have some questions about that. So I haven't used it yet, and I don't have plans to use it right now. Nizam89, do you have a pellet smoker? And if so, what's your opinion on them? I don't. I know people that have them and love them, though. I plan to add one to my cooking arsenal in the future. Michael Lamy, hello from Toronto, home of the next NBA champs. Okay. Raspberry Rock. Let's see. Oh, where are you getting in the football? Is that what? Is that the Raptors you're talking about? Is that your team, Russell? Okay. Stephanie Jimenez, Michael, I'm a huge Laker fan. It's the Raptors year. Wow, we moved into basketball talk quick here. This week on Cooking Sports Talk with Rai. Akmal Afif, hi, I'm from Malaysia. It's 2:11 a.m. here. Well, thank you. I'm glad you're up and joining us. Michael Lamy, it's been such a great journey. Can't wait for Monday. Cool. Hey, Wells Family Homestead, thank you very much for the donation to the Meat Fund. We're going to bring out Bat Cow and some friends now.
Bat Cow, thanks.
Right on, Bat Cow.
Thank you very much for the donation to the Meat Fund. Looks like we have another question in the question form here. Bottle Cap Barbecue, on your Oklahoma Joe mods, why do you prefer the gasket tape over the RTV? The RTV, you're talking about the silicone red RTV. I did use that in sealing between the two firebox halves. But for the seal around the cooking door, I prefer the gasket, the Nomex gasket, because the silicone RTV will sort of, at least the experience I've had with it, will sort of peel away after a while. And the gasket has been holding up really well. Also, it was just one of those choice things. I didn't want to put anything with chemicals in it on the cook chamber side. So that silicone RTV obviously has chemicals in it. I kept anything like that on the firebox side, not in contact with the flame. So it's on the outside of the box with, I think there's a Nomex gasket on the inside. So yeah, I tried to keep anything with that away from there. Now, it doesn't burn and set off any gases that I've ever seen. But it's one of those just sort of abundance of caution things. So I used it on the outside of the two halves of the firebox. Yeah. And I created a gasket between the firebox and the cook chamber with it. I think I showed that in my very first video, that Oklahoma Joe's Highland Mod video. Yeah. My backyard life. Ryan, are you planning on getting a griddle? What kind would you get? I don't have plans to get a griddle. I have such like Blackstone and Camp Chef envy. I honestly use my cast iron Lodge griddle on my kettle a lot, and it works well. Doesn't have as much space as those, but Blackstone or Camp Chef are really the top two that are consumer brands that are not too expensive and work great, and tons of people use them. G. Potter, good afternoon, Ryan. Enjoying a big cookout for my daughter's high school graduation on my new Texas Lone Star Grills and Pit Boss. Nice. In Austin, or Austin XL, cooking 4 briskets, case of chicken wings, and 4 pork butts. That's a lot of food, and congratulations on your daughter's graduation. Barbecue Trucker, what's up, Brian? Not much, just chilling here. Booty versus Booty, what's your dream smoker grill dream to have? It would either be probably a Lang or a Lone Star. I don't know which one. I really like the Lang Patio Deluxe one with the warmer. And Lone Star has similar ones to like that. But those are pretty big units. And honestly, getting into my backyard through a gate, which is, we have cinder block walls in the front, I'm not sure they would get through that space. I might actually have to have it craned into my yard, which would be a little expensive. So I don't know. I'll have to see. Let's see. Michael Frost, debating if I should wrap a Wagyu brisket. Yours look great, but wondering if I would retain moisture and have better bark. It didn't seem to have much of a stall. Yeah, that's the one thing I noted about the Wagyu. The stall was very short. Very, very short. But, so yeah, you have to make that choice yourself on whether you're going to wrap or not. King Kielbasa, the grill grates to prevent flare-ups and that people use for state competitions. The company's called Grill Grates. Gotcha. Oh, I see what you're talking about. Yeah, I've seen those. A lot of people have them. They're nice. They're really cool. Yeah. I don't have them. I could see myself using them, but I don't. Right now, it would probably just be an additional thing that I wouldn't have room to get in the planning stages for videos. So down the road, maybe. Farmer Stepnovsky, hello from Illinois, currently smoking beef short ribs on the Weber kettle for the first time. What would you say would be the next step in barbecuing beef? If you can get tri-tip, I would go for tri-tip. I really would. You know, brisket is kind of the king of barbecue for beef. It's daunting sometimes and intimidating, but it really doesn't have to be. Watch some videos, watch mine, watch other people's who do briskets, and you can get great results. Really, really great results. Let me see here. Bottle Cap Barbecue found the forum, but on mobile it closes the video. Yeah, unfortunately, some things don't work on mobile. I know that. Yeah. Booty versus Booty. Oh, thank you for the salmon recipe with the jalapeno sauce. Family really enjoyed it. Thank you. Yeah, that was pretty good. That salmon with the jalapeno was good. I was very pleased with that. So Chris is calling out Bruins here, huh? Eastwind Farms. Okay, okay. Dwayne, basketball was invented by a Canadian. Well, there you go. That ends all arguments. Cooking 1.5. I'm about to smoke a goat. Getting the fire hot now. Nice. I've had, I think it's called birria, which is a Spanish goat dish, I believe. Really good. Where are we at here? Chris P. Bacon. Sup, Bri? How you doing? Good to see you. Tim Nutt. What's the best finish temp do you feel to get good clean bite on baby back ribs? Nothing worse than mushy ribs falling off the bone. I don't go by temp. I go by tenderness. When those racks start to give you flex, that's the time to consider what you're going to do. And I'm not talking about flex where they're like this, but like when they're starting to give you just sort of that bow. When they just start to bow for me, that's when I decide, you know, I'm going to wrap them, maybe sauce them in the wrap. And then baby backs, it's really, I mean, over the time I've developed more of an understanding of them. They don't need that much time in wrap, especially once you start getting the flex. And if you give them too much time, they are going to get mushy. So it's really just about the probing tenderness between the bone and the flex. And okay, I personally don't like fall off the bone ribs. I like there to be bite. Let's see. DIY film. Where do you get your music from? Do you ever have issues with length versus how long your video is? I subscribe to a service called Epidemic Sound. It's a licensing service. So you pay for a monthly subscription and you license the music. It's cleared with YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. And they have all different lengths that you can get on there. And if it's a length, I don't worry about it. I just cut it, fade it. So I'll usually use 2 or 3 tracks for every video. Yeah. Cooking 1.5. You don't want any chemicals smoking that don't have the right flavor. Good choice. Yeah, you want to try and avoid as much as you can. I mean, sometimes things get there, but the more you can do, the better your food's going to be. King Kielbasa, Rye, do you have a gasket on the Weber kettle? I don't. I've never found it necessary. I've never had a problem with a cook going wrong because of a temp. So I know they make them, but I haven't found an issue with it. Matthew Jin, you make my girl and I so hungry. Love your show. Well, thank you very much, Matthew. I appreciate it. Simpleman's Barbecue, how you doing? Good to see you, man. Good to see you. Bottle Cap, Pit Maker Magnum is my dream. Cool, cool. Let's see. Lucas Christian, hello from Switzerland. Thanks to your recipes, my friends think I can cook. Awesome, cool. My friends think I can cook too. And I'm just a guy that likes to cook. I'm not a chef or anything like that. Doug Cox, how you doing, Miss Doug Cox? Hey, Rye, good Saturday to you. I'll be over in 42 minutes with my knife and fork and craft root beer. Okay. Simpleman's Barbecue, were you able to reverse sear the tri-tip you did in the PBC? No, I didn't. I wasn't planning to. I didn't need to. It turned out great. Just fantastic. B. Blair, dude, Rye, love your videos. Food looks so damn good. Hey, appreciate that. Thank you. Someone asked me in a comment today on one of the videos, man, you always have the same reaction. You know, wasn't anything bad? And I think I responded like, no, I don't want to make food that's bad. I have to eat it. So, you know, I really try to make stuff that's good that I'm going to enjoy. So, yeah. Let me see if I can get caught up here. Let's see. Reflex Man, how you doing? Hi, Rye. I asked you some time ago what you would recommend for a burger mix, and you thought for a second and said maybe some bacon or pancetta, and I have seen you do a pancetta burger. Did you think? The pancetta burger was great, and I think, I'm not sure if I was thinking of that of what you said. I'd use pancetta in a mashed potato video I did. That was I think it was pancetta Parmesan mashed potatoes, and it was really good. And so it was like pancetta and hamburger, man. It's like better bacon, you know, in the hamburger. So yeah, it was good. Yeah. Weed Man, what's your favorite cut of steak? That would be ribeye. I really like ribeye. Let's see. Brian Vstrom, planning a family barbecue, burgers and pork back ribs. I'm trying to get a crispy outer bark with sauce. So far, always soft results. Should I bump the sugar and go until lightly charred? No, what I would try with that is I would completely avoid wrapping. If you can take them, naked, develop the bark. When it starts getting crusty, do spritz it a little bit, not heavily, because you don't want it to get burned. You want to give some of that moisture still. And I'd still sauce it if you're planning to sauce it near the end. Just don't do it heavily. I've done ribs without wrapping, and they come out fine, and I've found that you do get a little bit of that crispier bark on them. So, yeah. Let's see. And again, chat's moving pretty quick, so if I miss a question, I apologize. You can either go to the video description for this video and hit the forms link. Let me drop it in here again, and that'll bring up a form on you can put your question in the form, and that way I can see it on my screen here in case I miss it in chat. It doesn't work on mobile, apparently, so if you hit that link on mobile, it'll drop you out of the video, so don't use that. Apparently, it only works on desktop, so yeah. Let me see. Kevin Nash, my new 26-inch kettle lid is already caked up with residue after 3 cooks. Do you hit yours with a wire brush when it looks flaky? Absolutely. Those flakes on the kettle lid will drop and land on your food. In fact, I did a video on that, on cleaning the kettle lid, because it's about you can ruin a good cook. It builds up. All that, carbon builds up in there. And yeah, after every cook or two, I check it and just see, and I just use a brush and knock it off. Yeah. Let's see. Darcy McGeplin, can you open a store in Amazon Canada? I'd like to get commission for the... can I open a store in Amazon Canada? I didn't get any sales, and if you don't get any sales through it, Amazon closes it down after like 90 days. If you're in Canada, you can open it, and it's easier. It's just how you get paid out, so yeah. Let's see. And yeah, Russell says, hit the thumbs up. Yeah, appreciate that if you guys want to give us a thumbs up. Carbon I am. Hey, Rye just prepped a Wodagyu bavette steak for the grill. Thanks for the code. Oh, man, that bavette, you're going to love it. You're going to love it. That is some good beef, man. Really good. Jacqueline and Dad. Hi, Rye. Can't stay long. Work today in the auto shop. Well, thank you for stopping in, man. I appreciate that. You guys are awesome fans. You've been around for a long time. I appreciate that. Bottle Cap Barbecue. If you don't want to hit that thumbs up, hit the thumbs down twice. Was it thumb sideways? Something like that? Yeah. Sent One. Hello, everyone. How you doing, Sent One? Good to see you. I thought you were in here earlier. Were you in here earlier? I thought I saw you. Matthew Gin. You ever have issues with high winds affecting your grill temps? Oh, yeah. Go watch my brisket overnighter video. That was the first brisket video I put on YouTube. And I dealt with wind all night long. Go watch that. You want to see me have trouble with wind. Man, that was insane. It was insane. Lamont Davies, how long have you been doing barbecue? I've been grilling over 30 years. I've been into smoking for about 12 or 13 now, I think. So, yeah, 30 years just at the grill, and 13 to 15 years smoking. I think it was 13. Maybe it's 13. Yeah. Let's see here. Cooking 1.5. I cook to maximum flavor. It's science and all. It's the only way. Name, brand, ingredients, and science. I think it's science. It can trip people up, though. That's the problem. Not everyone is sort of in tune with that. And so a lot of times it comes down to just experience and feel, and you did something that way before and it works again. It's like tri-tip with me. I just kind of have a feel for it now, even if I'm not using, the 110 sear method. But I prefer in almost everything to use like a temperature probe. That is the thing I like to use. It doesn't work with everything like ribs. There's not enough meat there to get a good, temperature reading on it. But a lot of people will say, oh, you don't need a temperature probe. You can just touch the meat or this, that. You know what? If you can do that, more power to you. I prefer to use a temperature probe. Yeah. Tyrone Dean, how you doing? Good to see you. Let's see. Tyrone Dean, what temperature and times for hot and fast brisket? There's a lot of varying opinions on that. The ultimate brisket temperature that I feel personally that you do brisket at and you get like sort of that long, low and slow results is that 225 sweet spot. That's not always easy to attain. Hot and fast to me is anything approaching that 300 range. Some people do it much hotter than that. But for me, you're in that 300 degree range. You're cooking it hotter than you normally would a brisket. I did a brisket recently. I think it was on the Weber Kettle one that was about 7 hours long. And I can't remember off the top of my head what the temperature was in that. I want to say it was in the 275 range. But, you know, I think it was like a 7-hour cook, which really isn't bad for a brisket. So hot and fast for me, somewhere in the 300 range. Brandon Larson, Mandy and I are out of town this weekend, but we're going to cook a tri-tip on the Weber Kettle on Monday. We can't wait for Monday. Oh, awesome. Enjoy that, man. Let's see. David B. Late to the party, but I made it. Good to see you, David. Doug Steitley. Hello, Rye. Seen your recent video with corn on the grill. Did you ever do corn with the husk still on the grill? If so, which way do you prefer the best, with husk on or off? I have done it with the husk on. I prefer it with the husk off. It's just cleaner to me, and you get a better, you know, you get the char on the kernels, which is great flavor to me. It's fantastic flavor. Simpleman's Barbecue. Have you ever thought about writing a barbecue recipe book? Yeah, I always used to say no, and then I thought maybe. I will be doing that at some point. It's just time, you know. I'm a writer, and so I write other stuff, and I do this, so it's a lot of time involved in that to get it right. And it's eventually, yes, I will do that. Eventually, yes. And then hold on a second. I want to pull one other thing up here to drop a link. Hold on. I'm dropping a link in the chat. I started building out my actual website. It's not fully done yet, but it's there now. So that'll start to be sort of a central place people can find other things on, more information, links to like Amazon stuff, links to the Teespring store, which has my t-shirts. There's Juice-a-Lanch t-shirts in there. I've got one actually coming. It should be here in a few days. So if you're into the Juice-a-Lanch, you can get some Juice-a-Lanch gear in there now too. So that's the website link. You can check it out at your leisure. There will be more stuff going in there. And eventually there will be a recipe section in that. It will not have every recipe from every video. It will have sort of the most popular ones that people keep requesting. So that'll start to be sort of the central thing to get stuff. YouTube will always be where everything is, the videos and everything. That's just sort of for question, answer, getting other information. Yeah. Let's see. Hello from Florida. Was it Brent Ryan? Hello from Florida. So, Ryan, which do you like best, ThermoPro or your smoke temp gauges? I prefer the ThermoWorks, the Smoke, and the ThermaPen. And here's the thing. There's nothing wrong with the ThermoPro stuff. I still use it. It's much less expensive. But they're my backup ones, or if I'm running 2 cookers. The ThermoWorks stuff, they're built like tanks. I do not recommend this, but my ThermaPen, I've dropped 5, 6, 7 times. It's dinged up, and it still works. And it gives you instant accurate reads. It's just a tank. And if you hold both of them, you'll see why. They're just built differently. It's water resistant. I can't remember what the standard is. So if it tends to be raining, you know, you're not going to have to worry about that. So I prefer the ThermoWorks stuff. It's more expensive, but it's built like it's more expensive. Yeah. Ronnie Taylor, have you ever tried lemongrass chicken? I actually think I used lemongrass in a recipe not too long ago. I'm not sure if it was a chicken recipe, but lemongrass chicken is good. I've had it many times. There's a Chinese restaurant we've gone to. It's a Japanese restaurant we go to. They do a lemongrass chicken. Yeah. Sent one, Cooking with Rye. I was here earlier, but went to do other things, but didn't close the chat. Just hanging around, leaving it running. I love it. Todd Hill. Hey, what's up, dog? Hey, Todd, how are you doing? Good to see you. That's my brother-in-law, other half of the Deirdre Hill. So good to see you, Todd. Thanks for stopping in. Rick's Barbecue in Blackstone. Good afternoon from San Antonio. Hey, Rick's, how you doing? And just as information here, we will be getting to the pictures in just a few minutes here. We got some good pictures this week. Let's see. No new question. Good. Cool. Nothing there. Everybody, we're getting in chat. Let's see. King Kielbasa, Rye, have you ever cooked prime rib eye cap that Costco sells? No, I've never done the rib eye cap. I haven't done that. Lucas Christian, do you have recommendation for a small gas grill? Just moved in my first apartment, on the balcony only, gas grills are allowed. You know, here's the thing. You can spend a lot of money in a gas grill, and there's nothing wrong with, if you're going to keep it for 20 years, okay? Go spend the money on a Weber, something like that, okay? You can get small ones, they're great. You can also spend $100 and get a perfectly decent small gas grill at places like Home Depot and Lowe's and things like that. My gas grill in the backyard is a $299 Home Depot special. It's not a Weber or anything fancy. It gets the job done. you know, and it didn't cost me $900. Again, nothing wrong with spending the money on a grill that you expect you're going to be using, you know, for 20 years and you're going to take care of. I've spent a lot of money on gas grills before, and I've actually seen them go bad. So I'm of that mind, like, okay, do I want to shell out 3 times as much as what I could shell out, you know, and potentially have it go bad? It's really a choice. But yeah, you're not going to go wrong with a Weber. You're not going to go wrong with a Char-Broil gas grill. Then they make small ones, which will work perfectly on, you know, apartment balconies. Yeah. Wells Family Homestead. What is the easiest vegetable you cook, and how do you cook it with the main meal? Zucchini. Grill it. I love grilled zucchini. I basically give it a little brush of oil, season it any way I want, maybe with some of the barbecue rub I'm using or something like that, and grill it, both sides. You know, I like to do it in half, so you have like, you know, half of it's covered in the skin, the other half is just sort of the meat of the zucchini. Grill it both sides, get it nice and soft, but I don't like it mushy. I like there to still be a little bit of a bite. That's my favorite vegetable to cook. Let's see where we at here. Doug Cox bought 2 New York strips from Stater Brothers. The meat was not that good on special and tough, even cooked correctly. Yeah, I mean, sometimes meat's not good. And, you know, here's the thing. You know, Stater Brothers, you know that, Doug. They have full-service butchers there. I've bought meat there that wasn't good. I took it back, and they replaced it. If it wasn't good, take it back. They will replace it. I'm dead serious. And so that's the nice thing about having a full-service butcher at the store. Yeah. Wells Family Homestead. I never liked corn on the cob with charcoal. It just doesn't taste right. Well, see, I like it. I like the char you get on it. It gets some of those sugars released in there. Really good. But, you know, everybody has different tastes. Kevin Nash. A bunch of photography involved in cookbooks. Yeah, see, if I did a cookbook, I would not do a photography-based cookbook. I'm not into that. I would do a recipe-based cookbook. It wouldn't be about illustrations or photos or anything like that. You'd be reading the cookbook. Those are my favorite cookbooks. One of my favorite cookbooks is God, what is it called? It's called something Italian, and it's by this older Italian lady. It's probably 20 years old, and it's just this, you know, a Bible of authentic Italian recipes, and it's just text, and I love it. I'm not into, you know, photo cookbooks, so I wouldn't do one. Let's see. Joe Garcia. What's up, everyone from the Rio Grande Valley? How you doing, Joe? Good to see you. Robert Barnes. Hello, Rye. Great videos this week, as usual. It was you that inspired me to dive in head first into the world of Weber. I started with a copper like you. You have 2 22s and that 26. I've seen that 26 in your photos, man. It's nice. That's nice. DIY film. I'm thinking of separating a brisket point from the flat and smoking them at the same time, then making burn ends with the point. Have you tried that before? No. I know people have done that with no issues. That's the way a lot of people do it. Personally, if I was going to do it, I would cook the thing whole, then take the point off. At that point, cut it up. It's already done its job. You're starting to get it rendered. Cut it up, you know, season it some more, and then do the burnt end part of it while your flat rests. So, yeah, I would just do it together, but you can definitely do it the other way. Renee Martinez, what's a juice-a-lanch? If you watch any of my videos, occasionally when I cut into something and a lot of juice flows out, it's a juice-a-lanch. That's what I call it. So, yeah, it's a juice-a-lanch. Joe Garcia, can you make a brisket in a Blackstone? I don't know. I don't have a Blackstone griddle, and it would be interesting. I mean, I guess you can do an indirect. Well, I don't know. Is there anyone, you guys in the chat who have Blackstones, answer that question. I think it would actually be really difficult because you're doing a lot of direct on the Blackstone. I don't know. Have you looked for a video on Blackstone brisket? That would be interesting. Connie Lindell, hi from Sweden. How are you doing, Connie? Good to see you. Oren, ThermoWorks Rocks Mark IV in the smoke. Yeah, they're good stuff, man. It's not cheap, but it's good stuff. Yeah. Let's see here. Let's see. Let me get thing here. Pull up. Yeah, thank you, Russell. Let's see. Yeah, just a real quick mention. If you're dropping stuff in the chat that is about your channel, like saying, I got this many subs and stuff like that, YouTube really frowns upon that. It's called sub for sub. They don't want to see things like that in live streams and in, you know, comments. So things like that are almost automatically held as messages, or moderators will hold them. So it's not a good thing to do. So just an FYI, if you're dropping messages like that in chat, it's not a good thing to do. Simpleman's Barbecue. Do you have any recipes for a good coffee rub? I did a coffee rub. I think it was a pork butt not long ago. Look for if you search my channel for coffee rub pork butt, it should come up. I'm pretty sure that's the one I did. I've also done other coffee rubs. One or two of them were commercial rubs, I think. But I did do a homemade coffee rub. So look for, I think it was a pork butt one. And that's a good one when I was mentioning about the website, because there are people that ask about that stuff. That might be a recipe that I would put on the website in a recipe section. So yeah. Let's see. Brian Wiestrom, he has the best coffee rub. Oh, well, thank you. If you're talking about me, thank you. Might be someone else, though. Michael Frost, Linda Bastianich. I'm not sure what that is. David B., Murder Mystery Cookbook. There are people who write that stuff, surprisingly. Yeah. Lamont Davies, have you been to a bacon festival? No, I haven't been to a bacon festival. I've been to a garlic festival. I've been to a strawberry festival, things like that, but never to a bacon festival. That'd be kind of like going to heaven, I imagine. Bacon festival. That would just be awesome. Yeah. Irene Pearson's Sister Germana's Italian Cookbook. It's not that one. It's the other one. It's the big, thick one. Irene is my wife. Sister Germana's is the smaller one. In fact, I used to have that in here. I don't think I have it in here anymore. It's that really big, like a textbook one. Yeah, I can't remember the name of it. Mark Horner just brought a PBC 18.5 inch. Is that the proper size? Yeah, that's the big one. They make a smaller one, a junior, which I think is 14.5 inches. The 18.5 inch is the one that I have. Yeah, that's their standard one. Yeah. Rick's Barbecue in Blackstone. Leprechaun has done it, and brisket on a Blackstone, and ribs too. Check it out then. I haven't seen that one. I got to check that out. Yeah. Kevin Knoll, how are you doing? Good to see you, buddy. Good to see you. All right, we're going to do some viewer photos now. Once again, if you have any photos of food you've cooked, any barbecue gear you have that you want to show off, go to my Facebook page. The link is on the screen there, Cooking with Ryan, R-Y-N-E, because someone already had Cooking with Rye. Use the private message function to send me the photos, and in the message say you give me permission to use them. If it doesn't say that, I can't use them. Also, do them landscape size like this, not vertical like, Instagram stuff, and don't put any text on them. Don't do a video. I can't put those up on there. So just, straight sort of snapshot photos that you're going to take of your food and anything you want to showcase. You can also go to the About section on my YouTube page on desktop and use the view email link. Same thing. You can email them to me. So let's get into some viewer photos. I'll be out of chat for a couple minutes. I'll jump back in once we're done with the photos, but let's show some viewer photos today. Here we go. All right, first up, we have Brandon Larson. Brandon, I hope you're still here. We got some bacon weave going on because you were doing some bacon weave turkey breast. And I've never done a bacon weave. I've wrapped stuff in bacon, and I know people have told me it's not that hard to do, and I know I could do it. It looks hard, weaving those things. I just want to get to cooking the bacon. All right, so here we go. Look at that. Really nice, man. You don't even have to cook it. It looks good. Look at that. Just beautiful. Oh my gosh. Brandon, did you glaze that with something? I can't remember in your message if you said you glazed that. Drop it in the chat if you're still here, because man, look at that. That's beautiful. And there it is, cut. Good fixings on the side. Nothing wrong with that. Really good looking, Brandon. Really good looking. And we got Carmelo. I don't know if I saw Carmelo in here today. Carmelo, I know last time you were working, so hopefully you're here. Carmelo's doing a meat fest here. If you can see, he's got like a ton of burnt ends. I think he was doing pork belly burnt ends and ribs. And we're getting ready to wrap those ribs there. Looks like brown sugar, butter. Is that some honey and some liquor in the background? Nothing wrong with that. I don't know, Carmelo, I can't remember what you said you were feeding there, but, the people were very lucky to be there for that meat fest. Christian Ruiz. Christian, are you in here today? Christian sent a photo of a beef round roast. Nice. Look at the color on the outside. Good looking. Dive Master Matt doing some ribs in the rack. That's the way, man. If you've got a kettle and you want to get a lot of ribs in there, using those racks can really help you. I have one, and I've done, I think, 5 racks of ribs at one time in the kettle indirect, and that really makes it helpful to not just kind of have to fit them around not over your heat source. Kevin Nash. I've got kettle envy now again. Everybody's getting the 26 but me. I got to get the 26 soon. Look at that. Beautiful. Going with the XL Slow and Sear in there too. Looking good. What wood were you burning in there with that? Drop it in the chat. Let us know. Yeah. Pork butts, man. That's looking good. Look at that bark. Nice. Nice color development, Kevin. Really gorgeous. And gotta say, it looks kind of nice with the green grass behind it too, doesn't it? This looks nice. Michael Brinson. Michael, I didn't see you in here today, I don't think. Or did I miss you? Let's see. No, okay. We got some ribs going. Looking good. Oh, look at the color. Now, let me back up because there's like, I think when they're starting and you can see like fresh on there, the rub on everything like that. And I don't know how much later that is, but look at the color that's developed on them. That's really nice. Yeah, using the racks. Getting ready for some wrapping just like Kevin was. Or no, excuse me, just like Carmela was. Oh, look at that. That's beautiful, man. Just beautiful. Good pullback on the bones there, you can see the meat pulling back. Good cut. Nice lot of sauce on there on that cutting board. That's what I like to see because it's tasty. Nick Castro. Nick, are you in here today? I don't know if I saw you. Doing some pork loin. Looking good. Pork loin's a really good thing to do indirect on the kettle. I've done several, and you can do so much with them, from the rubs to wrapping them in bacon. I mean, stuffing them. They're great. Looking good there. What was your temp? I can't quite see it. 140, or where were you taking it to? I can't see. It looks good, man. Beautiful, beautiful. Robert Barnes. Now, Robert, I saw you in here just a while ago. Here we go. We've got some chicken spatchcocked in there in your nice red Weber. And look at that. See, indirect to me is the way that I do 99% of all my chicken now. I almost never do anything direct with chicken. Over the fire, over the coals, anything. I almost always do it indirect because you get those results right there. Just beautiful. And you don't burn the skin. You don't burn the chicken. Robert got some wings going with the Vortex there. Looking good. All right. Good color. Got to tell you, the Vortex is a wing machine. It is a chicken leg machine. It is just, it's great. It's kind of like what the PBC is for ribs, the Vortex is for chicken. Just does great stuff with it. And we got Tim Van Dyke. Tim, I don't know if I saw you in chat yet today either here. Let's see. We're doing some carnitas from pork here. Look at that. Got a nice pork butt going. I'm guessing, is that a boneless pork butt you got going? Nice looking color there after a while. Oh, look at that. Good bark on there. And that's going to be great when you pull that for the carnitas. Just going to be great. We've done that before with pork butt, pulling it, you know, crisping it up in a pan for making those carnitas tacos. Really good. And we are back to the beginning. So we're going to head back into the regular window here. Again, you can send me the things through Facebook. And I saw someone ask, hey, what if I don't have Facebook? You can use the About section on my YouTube page. There's a view email link, and you can email me the photos. I'll have a section on my website soon that'll have, you know, information on viewer submitted photos, and the links will be right in there for people to use. So you won't have to go through, you know, the About section and stuff like that. It'll be a little simpler. So, hey, we're working on trying to turn this into something real. All right, let me jump back into chat here real quick. I know I've missed several. Kevin Nash says, Lydia Bastianich is an Italian cook and restaurant owner on PBS. Okay, cool. Lamont Davis, there was a bacon festival in LA. It was great. Tim Van Dyke, hey, Rye, just checking in. My daughter's bringing our grandson over, and I'm grilling steaks. Hey, that sounds like a great reason to grill steaks. But any reason is a good reason to grill steaks. But have fun with your grandson, yeah. I think we had some of your photos we just showed here. Doug Cox, story about sleeper communist spy posing as YouTube barbecue aficionado. I could do that. Mark Corner, thank you for all your hard work. Great info. Hey, appreciate that. Thank you. Kevin Knoll, what if you don't do Facebook? That's the question I just answered there. You can use the email link in the About section of my YouTube page. And I don't think that shows on mobile. I think it's desktop or laptop only. Tim says, nice bacon weave, Brandon. Yeah, that was really nice. I just love seeing photos of the stuff everybody makes. I mean, I just get to show, my stuff in the video and stuff, but I really like seeing the stuff that people make. And it really does make me feel good when people send photos in of stuff they've made, based upon things that I've done in a video. It's just really cool. I get to see someone say, hey, I just made your firecracker chicken legs and things like that. It's just cool. I like seeing it. It's nice. Brandon Larson, yes, we glaze them with barbecue sauce. That's what it looked like, and that was outstanding. Outstanding. Yeah. Man. Matthew Gin, do you ever smoke trout? I have smoked trout. I haven't done it on a video. Trout is one of those things that I actually prefer to grill it, and not grill like, you throw it over the fire, but I like to wrap it in foil, basically filled with the cavity filled with some cornmeal and lemon. That was my favorite way to have trout. The very first time I had trout was on a backpacking trip when I was younger, and I just love it that way. That's the way we made it after we caught it. Yeah. But I have smoked trout, and I have had smoked trout, and it's good. Let's see. Kevin Nash, I used some apple for the pork butts this time. Hickory is good, though. Yeah, I like apple and hickory for pork. Let's see. Kevin Knoll, not everyone, or everyone has a slow and sear. You're a little jealous. Slow and sear is nice. And that XL one that's got to be heavy, I would assume. Tim Van Dyke, there's some good picks of ribs. I picked up some today at Harris Teeter for $1.97 a pound. Nice. That's a good price. We only usually get the $1.99 a pound here for like spare ribs that are on special. Very occasionally you'll get the St. Louis cut for that, but usually it's spare ribs on special for something like that. Let's see. Doug Steitley, going to do some New York strip steaks this evening. Never had a New York strip. Are they as good as ribeye steak or close to it? I prefer ribeye, but there's nothing wrong with a New York strip. Again, just don't overcook it. Take it to the temperature you want. That level of doneness. Let's see. Rick's Blackstone Barbecue. Weber baskets and 3 soup cans for the water pan. Poor Men's S&S. Yeah, I've used Weber baskets for a long time, long before I had the slow and sear. And they work great. Yeah. Everything's a tool. Some tools make things easier. Some tools are expensive and you're not going to spend the money on them. But like for the slow and sear, here's my opinion on it. You have the slow and the sear. The sear you can do anywhere. You can do the sear over coals just piled there, okay? The slow part really works well in it. I've had that thing rocking 250 degrees for 7+ hours on one load of charcoal. I don't have a lot of other things that I don't have to tend. The baskets and things like that. They work great and you can do them, but you tend to have to tend them. And if you're doing a snake method or something like that, that moves your hot zone around. It's all a give and take. You have to choose what you want to spend your money on and what sort of ease of use you want. So they're all tools. You got to pick and choose. Simple Mans, you should look up Meat Cranium's review on the slow and sear. According to him, we aren't missing much. I've seen his review on that. I disagree. I think you get a lot of use out of it, but everyone has their opinion. Let's see. Kevin Knoll, that was the problem. I'm mobile and it doesn't show up. Ah, there you go. Okay. Let's see. Tim Van Dyke says New York strips are awesome. Yeah, any steak can be awesome if you cook it right. I mean, I've had select grade steaks, which you cook just right, and they taste fantastic. You can spend a lot of money on steaks and cook it wrong, and it's not good. So, method. My opinion is method trumps meat. You can have I don't want to say a bad cut of meat, but not the top cut of meat. And if you cook it right, you can really do great things with it. Yeah. JEC and Tex, thanks for your video on the temperature grommet. I plan to modify my Longhorn smoker with it. It works great. It makes it a lot easier than running the wires under the lid for me. Yeah. Kevin Knoll, I usually use the snake method for long cooks, and it works great for me. The S&S seems so simple at times. It is simple. I mean, that's kind of the thing about it is it's simple. Let's see. Matthew Gin, I'll have to try it that way. It's cool beans. Yeah, it's good trout, man. It's good. Oren, smoked whole trout is great. Yeah, that's the way, we didn't smoke it on that first trip. It was just, gut it, head still on, fill that cavity with cornmeal, squeeze a bunch of lemon into it, wrap it in foil, throw it right on the coals of the campfire. And it was just amazing. It was awesome. I just loved it. Yeah. But I love a good smoked trout too. Let's see. Paul Hertel, I just got slow and sear last week. I love it. Yeah, it does what it's supposed to do. JEC and Tex, what's your preference on brisket? Foil or peach butcher paper? I prefer the butcher paper, but sometimes foil is sort of your best choice. Like, I would not put the butcher paper where there's a chance of it coming in direct contact or close contact with flame or charcoal. So that's just a choice I make. I probably could have used butcher paper, like when I did the brisket on the kettle. I think I used foil on that because it's just a little proximity to the coals. It's just a personal choice on that, but I prefer to use foil if there's, kind of a chance of it being in proximity, because I have scorched paper before. It hasn't ignited, but I've scorched it, and I don't want to transfer any of that inside to the meat. Tyler Chase, how you doing, Tyler? What's up, Bri? I love the videos, man. You in the market for a bigger offset smoker at some point? At some point, I will. Yeah, I want more capacity. It's the main thing. My Oklahoma Joe's rocks. I don't have any problem with it at all. But eventually, for more capacity, I will move up to a bigger smoker. Yeah, I don't think I'll get rid of the Oklahoma Joe's at that point because, for the size of cooks that I would be doing, let's say I'm doing just, a couple racks of ribs, I personally wouldn't want to fire up a larger firebox on a bigger smoker just to do that. So if I could fit things in the backyard, and I have to do some reconfiguring in my backyard, there's some plans for that, to sort of be able to have all the cookers there and, use them, keep them covered and stuff like that. So it's in the process. Let's see. Champ, Rye, when are you going to do a Japanese A5 Wagyu smoked brisket on the Weber kettle? I've done, the Wagyu from Wadagyu, which is awesome. I don't know right now if I'm going to do another Wagyu brisket. At this point, I'm sure I will in the future, but right now I don't have any plans to. I don't want to go drop, a lot of money on another brisket since I just, did the brisket that they sent me, which was very nice. It's kind of, you have to weigh things when you're doing a channel like this. What are you going to spend money on in terms of not only the food, but, all the stuff that's behind the scenes, the camera equipment, the lights that go bad, the memory cards that go bad or you drop and step on, the microphones that break, the batteries, the gloves. It's funny, I catch so much flack from a small group of people about, you are so wasteful, you used all these one-use gloves. And the explanation I always give is, I'm really sort of a one-man show. My wife helps, but I do all the camera and lighting and everything. I have to constantly adjust camera, sound, lights. And if I had to stop and wash my hands every single time I did that, it would add 20 minutes to the filming time, which also cuts the flow of a video. So, I go through probably one box of gloves a week. It's 4 boxes a month. So when I was saying that, it's like there's expenses to the channel, which you have to weigh, hey, am I going to go drop $150 on a brisket and things like that. Let's see. Let me get caught up here. Kevin Nash, the Slow and Sear has a nice barrier of steel that directs heat up and away from the meat. The baskets have holes that heat escape through the sides. Yeah, and the basket actually, I like that for certain reasons. If you do want to get some of that underneath, sort of convection, the baskets work really well for that. In fact, I've done some really good cooks with the basket, with just one basket going, and it's easier to keep a lower temperature with like one of those briquette baskets than it is with the Slow and Sear. Let's say you don't want a 250 to 275 range. If you want something in the 225 range, one basket works better in my opinion, because you get some of that heat coming under, but it's a smaller amount of charcoal in there. Brian Vstrom, the next challenge, Slow and Sear made entirely from tin foil. I'm sure someone will do it, or has done it. Scotty's Backyard Barbecue, doing a pork butt kid-friendly, grinding it through the large die when done. Nice. Doug Steitley, going to head out, so thank you for answering my question and your awesome videos. Hey, appreciate that. Thank you very much. Let me just double-check the forms here. Okay, we didn't get any other ones. I think I've got all the questions in the forms. That is awesome. Let's see here. Tim Van Dyke, I ordered a Cajun Banjo Rotisserie, WSM door, and charcoal backer this week. My Father's Day gift to me. Well, you're a good father, you deserve it. You're going to like that Cajun Bandit Rotisserie. I've seen people actually use those. Is that the one that can also go on the WSM? Or am I thinking of a different thing? Because I've seen the Cajun Bandit ones before, and they're good. I have the Weber one, which works great too. Yeah. Let's see. Or in T-Roy Cooks has a comparison video of naked foil and pink butcher paper, 3 brisket at the same time. Yeah, I've seen that. And again, a lot of this times, there are different methods to do things. And here's my belief on something. There's no right way. The only rule in cooking and barbecue is the food should come out tasting good for people that you're going to serve it to. If you get that way doing it naked, or, well, you know what I mean. The meat is naked. I realize that can be misconstrued too. This is going to get demonetized, I know it. Unwrapped, wrapped in paper, wrapped in foil. Whatever gets that meat to the point where your guests are going to enjoy what you serve them, then that's the way to do it. Every method has advantages, disadvantages, and sometimes people are better at certain methods than others and they just enjoy it. It's like me for tri-tip, the 110 sear method. I know when I do that I'm going to get the tri-tip exactly the way that I want it every single time. So generally that's why I do tri-tips, unless I'm trying a different method like I did the other day in the pit barrel cooker, which turned out awesome. So that's another method I can use. But if someone says, hey, will you cook up some tri-tips for me? I'm probably going to do the 110 sear method on the Weber kettle that I like doing. So really, to me, the only rule is put out good food. And however you get there is okay. Let's see. It's Ziggy91. Just got done watching the PBC tri-tip video. Question about the coffee rub. That may sound silly, but how coffee flavored is it? It has a coffee flavor. And here's the thing. If you want to tone down some of the coffee flavor, put some brown sugar, mix some brown sugar in with the rub for that. Brown sugar and coffee go really well together. And I think in one of my coffee rub videos earlier on, I used brown sugar with I think it was an espresso blend coffee, and that worked really well. You can cut if you don't like too much coffee flavor, cut it with some brown sugar. It brings some sweetness into it, and it's really, really nice. Yeah. Kevin Knoll, got to run. Good to catch some of the live feed. Thank you very much, Kevin. I appreciate you being here, man. You've been a loyal fan for a long time, and I appreciate it. Mark Horner, Oklahoma Joe Highland is the perfect size for a family. It's also expensive to run. It is also expensive to run with wood. The Weber kettle should be the first choice. It can be expensive to run with wood. Weber kettle, like I've said, is my favorite cooker. I can do everything on it. I can direct grill, I can indirect grill, I can smoke, I can sear, I can, it just does everything. If it was the only cooker I could have, I would be fine. Capacity-wise, though, then becomes a question. Oklahoma Joe's Highland, you get more capacity than the Weber kettle. A bigger offset, you can get more capacity than the Highland. Yeah. Pardon me. Let's see. Where are we at here? Lydia Potter. Hey, Lydia. How are you doing? Good to see you. Champ, have you ever tried dry aging your steak for 30-plus days? Would love to see a video of that showing the entire dry aging process and everything. No, and I don't have any plans to. It's not my thing. There are so many people out there that are into dry aging and do videos on it. It's just not a thing that I'm into. I like, when I make videos, 95% of the time or even more, I try and do like recipe videos, meaning here's how I'm making something and hopefully you can recreate that. My personal opinion is that most people are not going to dry age a steak. They're just not. It's too long of a process and they don't have the place to do it. I mean, my refrigerator is full. I wouldn't have place in there to successfully dry age something. And so I tend not to want to do those things. It doesn't mean I never would as an experiment, but in terms of planning right now, no, I don't have any plans to do a dry age. In fact, I've gotten good dry age stuff. The stuff that Wodagyu has sent me, the Wagyu beef, is all 21-day dry aged, I believe. That's very good. Very good. And I've seen a lot of dry age videos that, Greg at Ballistic Barbecue's done them. Troy at T-Roy Cooks has done them. Gosh, who else has done it? A ton of people have done dry age videos. So I don't think there's another need for me to do one there, to put anything new out there. Tim Van Dyke, yes, Cajun Bandit rotisserie will fit the 22-inch kettle and WSM. Cool. That'd be awesome. Yeah. Steve Wetzel, can you do two pork butts on the 22-inch kettle? How long of cook time? I think I may have done two on there. If not, I've done two in the Oklahoma Joe's Highland. It's not cook time. It's going to be temperature and tenderness. If you focus on time, you're going to be frustrated. So pick your temperature. Let's say you're doing it at 250 or 275. You're going to probably be somewhere in the 200 range when you get close to tenderness, but you're going to probe them for tenderness to see if they're at the state of tenderness you want for pulling, for slicing, whatever like that. I've heard pork butts take anywhere from 7 hours to 14 hours. Size of the pork butt affects it. Quality of the pork butt affects it. Bone in, bone out affects it. Humidity in the air affects it. Temperature outside affects it. So give yourself the time for it. If you haven't done 2 before, start in the morning. Let's say you start at 8 a.m. and let's say 9 hours later, they're done. That's great. You've got it in the afternoon, and they'll hold for a couple hours wrapped in foil in some towels in a cooler. Let's say you have an event at 6 or 7, you're good. So yeah, try not to focus on time. Time can disappoint you a lot. I mean, it's happened to me. Yeah. Let's see. Lamont Davies going to be attempting that Cheerwine barbecue chicken tomorrow. Yeah, that's awesome. If you can get Cheerwine soda around you, that's great. I have to get it at a specialty store, but it reminds me so much of the black cherry soda that I used to love when I was a kid. Yeah, I just love it. Let me double check that there. Let's see. Rod722, what do you use for fuel after you wrap your ribs? If it's in the offset, I just keep burning wood because it's going to be wood for the end when I unwrap them. If I'm doing it in the kettle, it's just charcoal anyway. So for the kettle, if I'm doing ribs, it will be charcoal for the fuel and heat source with wood chunks added for smoke. Simpleman's Barbecue. Do you have any AMSR videos? I'm kind of enjoying those right now. I don't. I'm not into that. So it just, no, I don't. I don't even know what I would do. Just like, fire crackling, smoke wafting, something like that. Reese Davies, hey, Rye from Stoke-on-Trent, England. Love your channel. Hey, Reese, how you doing? I hope I'm saying it's Reese, right? When you say it, you pronounce it Reese, right? Reese, right? I know that sounds weird. Billy Garfield, your favorite grill to take to a park picnic? Well, hopefully it would be one that they already have at the park, so you don't have to lug your thing there. I'll tell a quick story here. When I was in high school, I was in a service club, and one of the things we did I might have told the story before, but I'll retell it because I probably told it when I had many, many fewer viewers. We decided for a nice thing to do on 4th of July, we were going to do a barbecue at a senior citizen's home. So, it's a place where senior citizens live and, get assistance if they need it. And this was back in the late 70s, early 80s. I think it was about 1981, actually. So I had a Weber kettle, our family did. So we put it in the back of my friend Mike's pickup truck. We took it there. They had a central courtyard, fired it up, started cooking, hamburgers, hot dogs. Well, the problem is we were in a central courtyard, which was surrounded by the actual facility, and they had big sliding doors that went in everywhere. And I didn't really know how to grill very well then. So basically, we just smoked out the entire facility of people in their 70s and 80s and 90s. They had to close all the doors. The people were coughing and choking. So I would take my Weber kettle to the park to use, but I wouldn't take it to a senior citizen's home to use again. Yeah, the Weber kettle, if you can transport it there, or a smaller kettle, something like that. Unless the park already has built-in grills, which a lot of them do, or at least around here they do. So yeah. Let me see here. Matthew Jacks, how you doing? Just started watching your show. I think it's great, but every time I watch it, one problem is you make me hungry. Keep up the good work. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. I make me hungry too. Yeah. Johnny Broomfield, have you ever cooked on a Weber Ranch kettle? No, that's the huge one, right? It's like a 36-inch. I think it's like $1,400. It's a massive thing. I have not cooked on that. And I could see myself cooking on that if I routinely cooked for a large number of people, but I don't. So I don't think that's something I would add to my cooking arsenal. I mean, other than the fact that it's, pretty hideously expensive for that. It's an investment if you're cooking for a lot of people. So, but it's cool. Let me tell you that. Johnny Broomfield, what's the best to keep baby backs moist? I would say don't cook them too high a temperature, and don't cook them at too high of a temperature. And if you're going to wrap them earlier rather than later. Because if you wrap them later, they're going to get mushy. So I would actually really start looking for that flex. You might get around 2 hours, and you might only need to wrap them for an hour, maybe even half an hour. Take them out, put them back on the grill indirect with some sauce if you're going to do that for maybe 45 minutes and see if they're probing tender. Yeah, baby backs can lose their moisture if they're overcooked or they're cooked at too high of a temperature, in my opinion. That's been my experience. Scotty's Backyard Barbecue. My kettle fell out of my truck in 1981. Going to a park, put a dent in it, still have that kettle still today. That's awesome. That's an awesome story. Scotty's Backyard. I've cooked on the rent kettle there. Fun. You rented it. That's a beast, man. That thing's a beast. So, well, everybody, we've been going for over an hour here. I'm going to have to start wrapping this up. So again, I want to thank everybody for stopping in. I will occasionally, like I said, pop in the middle of the week and try and do a live stream. We had a really good one. I think it was Wednesday this week. We had like 119 people stop in from all over the world. So I'll try and do that maybe every couple of weeks, a midweek one. This one, the next one scheduled should be in 2 weeks from today, which would be, what's today, the 8th? So around June 22nd, unless something comes up, but I'll post a message about that. But again, everybody, thank you so much for stopping in. Let me check for any last minute comments or questions. Brian Viestrom, Rye, your coffee rub has been a big hit. A couple shakers were gifted to barbecue friends. Thanks. Hey, that's cool. That's awesome. Only Chevy, I just bought a Pit Boss pellet smoker grill. Love it so far. Just getting used to it. Going to do chicken breast tonight and see if we can keep them juicy. That's a good way to do it. Just try and do them indirect too. Remember, don't give them that direct grilling, which is, I think, an option in that Pit Boss, right? Creep King just got here. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. I'm here for like about 40 more seconds. But everybody, thank you so much. Patrick Dolinchuk, hi, Rye from Winnipeg, Canada. Do you have a preference for charcoal, Kingsford, Weber charcoal, or brand? I use plain Kingsford Blue, the regular, not the match light stuff. I tried to explain that to someone who couldn't get it past his head that I wasn't using match light and said I was adding chemicals to the food. No, the Kingsford Blue is not like chemically added, lighter fluid match light. That's their normal charcoal, the Kingsford Blue. That's what I use. It's predictable. It burns at a predictable rate. When I'm doing indirect grilling, that's what I use. Yeah. So everybody, thank you very much. And for my friend Russell, go Raptors. You guys all have a great weekend.